This is Weather Authority Weekday.
Hey everyone, I'm Meteorologist Mark Collins. Welcome to Weather Authority Weekday. We made it to a Thursday here, just one more day until we kick off the weekend. And if you're ready for the weekend, get ready for the heat. Because remember this past weekend, it was so hot. It was the hottest weekend that we had since June of 2024 with back-to-back 99-degree days. Well, this weekend we're going to be seeing the heat pile on us and we'll be reaching the upper 90s once more. But hey, at least today, low 90s, call it a cool down. And the difference today, take a look at the radar. Things are pretty dry out there. We're not seeing any showers this morning, and later in the afternoon, we'll have half the amount of downpours as what we had yesterday. So the trend to drier weather takes place today. Tomorrow will be even drier. And here you can see how it's pretty sunny out there. And even with all that sunshine, we'll see our highs reaching the low 90s, but it's the combination of the sun, the drier weather, and a stacking ridge of high pressure over the weekend that will push us to near record temperatures. But enjoy the decent weather. These morning starts have been pleasant in the 80s. We've been dealing with the dry weather here all day long, and look for your highs today. Reach right around 92 to 93 in Jacksonville. The west side areas from Orange Park, you'll probably get into those mid 90-degree readings, and coastal areas right around the upper 80-degree mark. We'll have more of a southerly flow today, and where the south winds meet the Gulf Coast sea breeze, we're going to see those thunderstorms peak over those inland zones out west of Highway 301. Let's show you the bigger picture. No big systems coming in from the north, but you can see a lot of red on the maps. Those red spots are the patchwork of where there's heat advisories. Texas, up through Arkansas, in through the Corn Belt, and into the Great Lakes area. Very hot conditions there. And also places from New York, the big cities along the mid-Atlantic, from New York into Washington, those locations will be dealing with heat advisories today. Yeah, about 92 degrees. We'll be about that warm, but for some city areas, it's going to feel much hotter in the concrete. Now, you can see how there's a cluster of 100-degree temperatures out here over places like Dallas and Texas. That is going to be building out towards the east over the next couple of days. So there you see like Charlotte getting in on those triple digits as that heat pushes eastward into the mid-Atlantic, and even Washington, D.C. could get near 100 degrees. You notice how we jump higher by this weekend. Sunday, we could be seeing 97, 98 degrees here in the forecast. So we will get in on that heat as it spills eastward. And like I said, we're seeing some dry weather pattern coming in, which will really hold down the rain chances. Now today, we're not going to be that hot. In fact, we're only looking at those lower 90s around the river. We're looking at beachside spots like Jack's Beach, about 87 degrees. But from Middleburg to areas around the Maxwell area, you'll probably reach 94, 95 there. Inland Georgia will sizzle as well, as there's not much rain headed your way. Folkston, Nahunta, Waycross, you're looking at those mid 90-degree temperatures. All right, now we had some fog over those southern Georgia areas this morning. That's mixed on out. You can see from the visible satellite, this is pretty cool. I always love the detail that these provide because it's actually showing the cloud tops being in the sunlight reflecting off those cloud tops. You can see over the Gulf of Mexico, really widely distributed thunderstorms, no organization there. So we're going to talk about the tropics and the low risk for any development there. But first, let's talk about what's hitting home, and that is the heat. Now, looking at records today, we'd have to get up to 100 degrees, and that was set all the way back into the 1800s. Now, bear in mind, different thermometers there compared to more of the high-tech sensors. Also, the airport location was over downtown Jacksonville, not at the airport, which is where it is now. So there are some discrepancies going that far back in time. But what's important is we'd have to get well into the 100s to set any records over the next couple of days. So we're far short of that 93. But notice here, the blue numbers, those are the forecasted high temperatures, possibly getting to 100 on Monday, which would at least tie a record. And we can get close to that. The records I put in yellow at the bottom there, so you can see how we're going to be far from seeing a record tomorrow, only at 94. But we need to get at least 100 degrees or higher as we head into the weekend. And so we could be in near record temperatures as we head through the next couple of days. Now let's get back to the rain potential for today. Really, most of us are going to stay dry. Right now we're seeing dry conditions. That was the rain last night moving on out. So we're starting out with an empty slate, and the reason why we're going to be dealing with less rain today is a little bit of a nose of drier air coming in from the east and southeast. You can see all that orange over the Bahamas. Nice time to be headed down to Grand Bahama Island or Eleuthera, since they're dealing with the blue skies there. But some of that drier air is going to be sliding in to North Florida, and that will put a damper on the wet weather. Haha, you hear that pun on words. So rain chances drop off to 20% along the coast today. So that's basically nil to none. And then around the river, we're going to be looking at a 30% chance of rain. Orange Park, Clay County, down into areas like Bradford County, you're looking at a little bit better chance of brief showers in the afternoon. And then the highest rain chances will be towards Gainesville. So here's the bird's eye view of where the rain plays out. Notice how things are pretty quiet at 1:30 to 2 o'clock in the afternoon. Not much development until that sea breeze rolls inland and pushes past the river around 4 to 5 o'clock. That can pop a few isolated showers, but in general, you don't see much rain showing up, and especially in contrast to yesterday, where we had heavy rain over places like Clay County. You could see some good downpours in those areas as well, but Stark out towards Lake Butler, those are areas that might see some rain here for your evening hours. We're talking like 5, 6, and 7 o'clock tonight before that rain fades on out and moves away. Then drier air even comes in for Friday, so those rain chances will be even lower. All right, what's the chance of anything developing in the Gulf? I don't see anything playing out there. National Hurricane Center continues to keep a yellow polygon over the area with a 10% chance of development, but that's no models show any type of organization there. Thunderstorms have been widely distributed across the area, and the sea heights will remain very low in the Gulf of Mexico. In fact, they'll be lower than what we're seeing offshore, our beaches, which are only about 2 to 3 feet. There hasn't been much at all to surf here. Waves have been only shin high. Rip current threats have been low in the mornings, turning moderate during the afternoon with that sea breeze that comes ashore. And over the weekend, it would be decent conditions actually to take the little ones out in the water. And always keep an eye on them with seas at only a foot. It's going to be like a bathtub this weekend. And a lot of folks will be trying to beat the heat since it will be so hot. So yesterday's heavy rain was due to that stationary front and extra moisture in the atmosphere. That's all sliding away west and northwest of us as that low pressure center pushes the rain back towards Louisiana and Texas. So that trough line marks the low. Notice no deepening there. In fact, it fades away as we head into tomorrow evening. And most of the Gulf Basin will see a lack of rain over the weekend as well. So that's why I'm not concerned with any tropical development there. You see that high pressure ridge coming into the east coast of Florida. That's part of the reason why we dry out, and it'll give us more of a south and southeasterly wind flow pattern. So why was there a yellow area in the Gulf of Mexico? Well, you can see the forecast model shows slight circulation there, but no increase in wind speeds in the western Gulf as that weak low moves towards Houston tomorrow. Now let's turn our attention to the Bahamas. You see those clouds fade away as well. And then as we back out the view, I'm showing you a couple tropical waves to look at. One on Saturday pushes into the eastern Caribbean Sea. That first tropical wave weakends altogether with no development as shear just obliterates it. The second tropical wave behind it is a bit more defined. You can see those streamlines showing that horseshoe-shaped bend. So that is a more robust tropical wave, which brings some rains into the Leeward Islands on Monday, early next week. So that's the one I'll be watching, but still, it doesn't look like it's going to hold together or intensify. It does hold together as it pushes past Puerto Rico Tuesday and then into Wednesday, but it'll be embedded in those deep trade winds and not lifting northward. So again, nothing to really be of concern in the Caribbean or the Atlantic Basin, but that's the area that we'll be watching more closely as we head through August, and the storms tend to focus further out into the Atlantic. We're more concerned about the heat. So we've been talking about the heat driving up, the rain chances going down, and that all starts to take play here as we head into the Saturday, Sunday time frame. And then we're going to be looking at heat advisories likely kicking in Sunday, Monday, Tuesday of next week. So back-to-back heat advisories. My suggestions is plan your activities around it. Mow the yard here today, tomorrow, or early in the morning this weekend before the heat really starts to settle in, because it will feel just as hot as what we've dealt with this past weekend. So use that as a gauge as to how hot it will get this weekend as we see these high temperatures reaching about 99 or 100 degrees. All right, so that's your Weather Authority weekday forecast. Hopefully you can try to stay cool with this hot weather outlook. It's going to be with us here for the next couple of days. Have a great day.
See why every day more people are choosing News 4 Jax, Northeast Florida and South Georgia's #1 source for local news.